So you survive Armageddon, you clean up the earth, the whole earth, right? Not just the park across the street with the dead bodies. We're talking about the whole earth, right? And you go where the need is great, because if in some Muslim countries where it's 100% Muslims, there's going to be a lot of carcass. There's going to be a lot of dead people, right? So you got to go where the need is great, right? If you live in the western part of the hemisphere, you may have to go to these countries, these Buddhist countries, where they're not going to have too much of their own people to help clean up, because they're part of the people, right? So they'll say, hey, we're going to need to deploy some brothers to go to, Asia to clean up 1 billion or more Asians. And so we get past that with the help of the vultures. We get past that. And we clean it up. We spray some Lysol and disinfectants. We, I guess, reuse some of the material that has fallen from the buildings that will collapse, as per the Awake magazines that I grew up on. There were buildings collapsing, and at the same time, earthquakes going on. I guess the earthquakes caused the buildings to collapse. Yeah, buildings would collapse in New York City when an earthquake to that magnitude hits, because it's an earthquake from God. And the women with their children in strollers and Central Park, people having picnics, kids on swings, people walking dogs, people jogging as they do in Central Park. The horses going haywire with people in the carriage. The people that they're taking pictures, pre-pictures for their weddings. People in restaurants, hotels, they're going to get it. And they're going to get it good, right? Because that's the kind of God Jehovah is, I guess, right? So they clean up, and from that point on, as I was told, it will take 1,000 years until perfection. I call that the probation period, or the parole period. If someone gets out on parole and they have 20 years, let's go down a little bit, right? 10 years. For 10 years, you can't do anything wrong that would violate your parole. Stay in a house. Stay in a house. Utilize Uber Eats. Don't go outside. Don't go driving. Don't do anything. Because if you're in Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks and somebody, gets a little testy with you, you can go back to prison if you react the wrong way. Even if you don't react the wrong way. If you say, you know what, my bad, that latte is yours, I'm sorry, I picked up the wrong one. I guess there's somebody else with the name Sean. I thought I was the only one, right? And that person just says, screw that, and just, hits you. The police come. They're going to say parolee. You're going to be processed. You may go to jail. You may go to, so it's not good when you're on parole for, that amount of time. 1,000 years parole. 1,000 years on parole. You can't mess up. That sister that you always liked, but you couldn't really do anything because you were married and she was married? Yeah, she's moving towards perfection. You thought you liked her in the imperfect world. But now we're 11, 12 years in to perfection, or moving towards perfection. Oh, she's filling out in all the right places. A lot more than she did in the old world. But you're not perfect. And your lust is driving you insane. I know I sound like a weirdo, but this is real life. This is real life. But you're on parole. But your thoughts are on parole too, right? Because you're going to be thinking thoughts that it's not approved of as you plant your bananas or apples or both. So I'm just trying to paint a picture, y'all. I remember thinking when I was told that, we had to go through 1,000 years. I remember it was just not satisfying to me. I thought I had it down packed. All right. So, you worship Jehovah. You can be saved at Armageddon. Okay, so we're home free, right? Not really. You have to be put on trial again, so to speak. And, you have to go through 1,000-year period. I remember just hearing that, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm barely trying to get through high school, the 4 years of that, without any major hiccups. And you're telling a young kid you got to go through 1,000. First off, where did they get that number from? Can someone let me know? I'll give you a minute to think about that while I take a sip of my matcha. Can someone let me know? Where is it? And when you find that scripture, in what context is it in? Right? 1,000 years. They just said 1,000. So it's like 998 years. It's like, I'm almost perfect. Not really. That little 2% is really weighing me down. Still got a little bit of homosexuality or lesbianism or, transgender thoughts. But hopefully in the next couple of years, it'll just all be erased. Like, I just don't get it. And I'm not making light or making fun of people that believe that. If you believe that, as I mentioned in the last video that I made, it's got to make sense to me. 1,000 years on parole. Right? Ain't nobody gonna upset nobody. Nobody is gonna accidentally, trip over you while you're having a picnic with your family. Nobody is going to make a stupid remark. No one is going to make an inappropriate, suggestion or remark. No one is not going to jump off of that mountain into the water and accidentally hit somebody or kick somebody in the head. It's like, I told you not to jump. Oh, I'm sorry. We're in a new system. I told you not to jump off of that part of the mountain, man. There's people swimming here. Is that God-like? To me, that's just human-like. But evidently in the new system, you're not gonna be human. My brother that has the Backroom channel, we get into some really deep conversations. And one of the conversations that we had that prompted this video was just like the things that we need as humans. If we were perfect, it would be almost robotic. And I remember asking someone, as a child, like, so when we're perfect, we're going to be able to do this and that, because I'm looking at like perfect, like when you're perfect, everything, even your thoughts, even the things that you say, you will be perfect in everything. And this person said to me, no, that's how they do it, or that's how they did it to me. Like, Sean, feeble-minded Sean, you're going to be who you are. Same thoughts, same wants, same needs. And I wanted to say, especially as an adult, stop right there. You don't want that Sean with the same thoughts, the same wants, and the same needs in this new system. So that's not accurate, right? Because some of my thoughts, no, you don't want that. So I just never understood that, because it's like on one hand you're saying, no, you're going to have the same thoughts, the same wants, same needs. You're going to be who you are. If you're a jokester, you're going to be a jokester. Okay, let's stop there. You're a jokester. One of your brothers come out, your spiritual brothers come out, and, I don't know, his hair is not looking right. Somebody gave him a spiritual haircut, chopped his hairline back a little bit too far, and you laugh and you say, hey man, I didn't know your forehead was that big. Or maybe your hairline is doing a backstroke. That's a corny joke, but it's like, what if you say that, right? Good intentions. You're a jokester. You was a jokester in the old world. You were a comedian. In the old world, you make him feel bad. He starts walking away. He's like, I hate when he does that. I tried to get a haircut from one of the new brothers because the other brother was, I don't know, climbing a tree or something. It's like, and he makes me feel like that. My hairline is not doing a backstroke. I did this intentionally. I said, make me look like George Jefferson or something. I don't know. John Amos. John Amos is the guy that played in Good Times. The father. But in any case, you make somebody feel bad. How does that work? How does that work? You see a sister and she's, ever so gently strutting down the grassy hill. And she's well endowed in the back part area. You don't say anything, hopefully, but you're looking. Do you not have the same inclinations, the same manly feelings towards the opposite sex? Right? Do you not? Okay, so you don't act on it, but it's in your mind, right? Again, you're on parole for 1,000 years. And then what happens when you reach 1,000 years? You won't like the opposite sex anymore? You won't look at them in that way? I don't know. These are inquiring minds want to know. You know, someone that is into the same sex. I don't want to get into the, logistics of whether or not I believe. That's not my preference. I like women, but I'm just saying someone that has that, thing, or they have, that's just something that they are. They're on parole for 1,000 years. It's like, here, let me help you with that, Brother Thompson. I mean, yeah. It's like, it's crazy. But these are things that has to make sense, and you can't just be very, egotistical about the things that you think you know, and once you reach a brick wall, then it's like, oh, those are the things that we don't know everything. Jehovah will, calm down, Sean, reveal those things to you at a later time. You mean like how he revealed new light at a later time? Like that? It's crazy, but then again, the whole religion is, right? Yeah, I thank everyone for writing me, letting me know that they received their Think shirts, their hoodies, sweatshirts. Working on more merchandise. Got somebody that's working on that as we speak. I really appreciate y'all. I thank the people that really support, and I appreciate you guys like you don't know, because you don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to be watching this. You don't have to engage. You don't have to. Right? You do not have to. You can be using your Sunday to be doing other things than watching me. So I'm really grateful, truly grateful. Like with any one of my posts, all I ask you to do is think, right? Just think. And you can click the link in my description. You can email me if you want a Think shirt. We're going to have hats pretty soon. We're going to have like mugs and all the, all the traditional things people get when merchandising, and maybe some really other cool stuff that I could think of. If you have any suggestions, let me know, right? Put it in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. That's really important. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, and all the love in the world. Peace.